few people who couldn't give. Here's to that terrible, terrible game. Superman deserved better. I can't wait to see somebody destroy it. Kaligoma 154 gives us $25 and says, $5, here's my part, and put some more towards the Dishonored bonus run. Greetings from Dubai, and thank you for the amazing job every year. It is more than our pleasure. All right. So I think it is about time for us to get onto the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles run. So let me hear it out there in the crowd for Whitman. Woo!
Go Whit.
No. We can do better than that. Let me hear it for Whitman. That's what I'm talking about. Take it away, Whitman, and good luck.
All right, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I mean, now that we got the hard game out of the way, we can play something easy here. So I'm going to play TMNT. I'm sure everything will go perfect. But actually, there is an audio cue at the very beginning when I press start, so if everybody would be a little bit quiet. But then once I get going on the action screen, we'll be good to go. So if I press start on the right frame at the beginning, then we're going to have some magic happen. And if we press start at the wrong frame at the beginning, then we're going to have just a little less magic. So either way, you're getting something good. So I'm going to go ahead and power on, power off. Then I'm going to try to do the audio cue, and I'll count us down when to start the timer. Three, two, one, go.
All right.
Go Whitman.
There we are. Woo. All right, this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES. First game on the NES. It's known for being very difficult, but hopefully we can prove that wrong today. Really great game. A little bit underrated. It's a very fun game to play casually. A lot of different elements to it, and it's really a great speedrun as well. So for this first boss, we're killing Bebop pretty quickly there, but I did take a lot of damage. That's actually on purpose, because in this game, when you're below half health, you actually get an attack boost with every turtle except for Raph. And that's because Raph is, well, he just doesn't get the boost. All right, so now we're gonna pretty much be Don for most of the game. If you're familiar with this game, you know Don is kind of overpowered. He actually has the strongest attack as well as the best range. So we're gonna use Don pretty much as we can. We will go through some sections where we use other turtles for certain reasons, but mostly it's gonna be Donatello's show, and then everybody else is just there for support. All right, so we're going to the boss fight here. There's actually been some new strats found recently to make that part a little bit quicker, but the boomerang guys are kind of random when they throw boomerangs, so I had to play it a tiny bit safe there to make sure I didn't get hit. But there's actually a strat that Skunky48 found, and he's the record holder of this game now, and you can actually jump up to the left really quick there if you do it. But either way, good level 1, our health is good, pretty fast, so we're in good shape to go for level 2. At the beginning of this level, there's actually an interesting trick you do. I call kind of a extended jump up to the ledge. You're not supposed to be able to make it up here, and obviously I did make it there, or there. All right, we're gonna climb the ladder because extended jump's overrated. It's a speedrun trick. I really should have been playing this glitchless, obviously, so I almost forgot that would be a glitch.
That is the true category for this game, glitchless.
Yep. Yeah, but the extended jump, essentially you kind of get your turtle sprite halfway into a platform or a ledge, and if you jump up on that pixel and you hold forward when you're at the peak of the jump, you can actually clip up onto the ledge and you get higher than you're supposed to be able to get. You're actually not supposed to be able to get up to the ledge. I'm gonna try another one here in a sec, and hopefully we can get this one on the first try. All right, we did not get on the first try, so we're gonna go ahead and jump up here as well. Again, glitchless run. I forgot to mention that. I keep forgetting that we met the glitchless donation incentive, so eventually I'll remember that, because, I mean, there's 1 or 2 glitches in this game, but we don't really want to show them off too much, so we'll try to stick with glitches. All right, there we go. We made it.
Yeah. Run ruined, but yeah.
So essentially, that extended jump lets you get up there without having to climb the ladder, so it saves a couple seconds. It's definitely a cool trick and a little bit precise, but we're at least able to get one of them, so that's cool.
Everybody's favorite part right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The most difficult part of Turtles, the dam section. For a speedrun, though, it actually becomes pretty easy. There's actually one main thing that I'm going to focus on here, and that's underwater speed boost. Obviously, we see the electricity, and the electricity, I'm just going to swim right through because I want to go fast, and I don't want to slow down. And we have a lot of extra turtles here that aren't really going to get much use, so I'm going to go ahead and damage them very profusely. But the key is you want to get a certain underwater current pattern, which I did get, and that allows you to get certain speed boosts in sections that let you swim really fast. I got a small one right here, so I'm actually going a little bit faster than I normally would, and I was able to avoid a hit from that, that spinning spike thing. But there's a much bigger one coming up in the next screen when you swim up, so I'm going to hopefully get that one as well. So I want to have the momentum pushing me to the right here, and then swim left, and then pull back. So this is really good. I did a little turn back, but you can see how fast I'm swimming right now. That's actually a pretty big time save, and I actually kept it, so I still have the speed boost now. And if you get a good speed boost like I did there, it wasn't perfectly executed, but it was still really fast, that can save like 2 seconds just in that straightaway section. So pretty interesting, that mechanic. It's one of the things that's really hard to master in this game, but we have kind of figured out some things and figured out the best way to set it up, so that definitely makes it a fun part to add to the speedrun. And that's actually not considered a glitch, so nobody has to worry about that.
One is legit.
All right, so we actually kept a little more health than we normally would there, but it's good, and 1:16 is a really good time on the in-game clock.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're in good shape. A little bit of a hiccup on the glitches there, but as you guys watch this amazing cutscene, how about we cut to some donations?
Oh, I can help out with that. We have a $50 donation from Full Contact 65 who says, "Hey, I'm from Germany. I'm a big fan of TMNT and Battletoads franchises. Thank you for speedrunning these games. P.S. The P in PJ stands for pimple. Can we get everybody to give me a huge cowabunga?" Cowabunga! And I have $20 from King Blunkers, who merely says, "Toad from Mario is the best Battletoad." So,
That's right.
Yeah.
I think Toad from the Couch is the best Battletoad.
Yeah, I'll buy that, yeah. I've got $5 from Large Horn, who says, "I've already donated this AGDQ, but I couldn't not donate to welcome Bob the Ninja Goldfish back. It is great to hear your voice. Put this towards Bob's choice, which is Superman."
All right, so now we're going to move on to level 3, which is a lot of fun because you get to drive the turtle van. But the key here is going into this building and getting the missiles, because you need the missiles to continue, but you don't actually really need anything else in this building. So we're going to get the building, and then we're going to take a death abuse. Again, death abuse, so not a glitch, so let's not worry about that. But it's actually much, much faster to get the missiles and then die with the turtle than to walk out of the entire building, because as you can see, it's like a, I don't know, probably a 30-second walk. All right, so we got that extended jump on the first try, which is good. That's pretty much the 4th one. And then sadly,
Hey,
Mikey got captured. So I guess he didn't really die. He just got captured. He'll be fine. And we might actually see a surprise appearance from Mikey later on, but that's if the donation incentive gets met. Save Mikey. All right, so the turtle van section's kind of interesting, but there's not really that much going on besides really tight driving. So I'll do that, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the start button. I mentioned at the beginning of the game, when you press the start button controls where the Technodrome spawns, and it's very important. The key is the frame you press start at the beginning sets the RAM value, and there's 3 different RAM values, and that value determines where the Technodrome boss in level 5 will spawn. 3 different tunnels that you can go to. One tunnel is amazingly fast. It's right when you enter the level, and that's the one you always want to get for a speed run. But there's other 2 tunnels not so good. So if we got the best magic, then I will get the top right tunnel, and would be a big time save. But if I was just a little bit off on the start button press, then I'll get one of the other tunnels, which not really that big of a deal. I can capture another turtle and then just go to the next tunnel, and we should be able to find it there. All right, so this next room's a little bit tricky. There's some tight jumps here, but one of the first ones you want to kind of curve around this ledge. So let's see if I can get that done. Nice, that was good. Now curving up there and jumping quickly actually despawns another set of fire guys on that top platform. So it not only reduces lag, but it helps you get through there without having to worry about the extra enemy. So this part can be a little bit sketchy sometimes, but if you get good at the jump timing and the attack timing, it's not too bad. Now, we actually got a weapon drop there, which is not the weapon I wanted necessarily, but it still is a weapon. So in that case, nice. I would have preferred to get the single star shuriken because that would actually allow me to kill the Mecha Turtle boss fight coming up one hit faster in each cycle. Unfortunately, we did not get that, but the boomerang, it is what it is. The weapon drop is random, what you get. You can either get a single star, a triple star, or a boomerang, but you can also get no weapon drop. So it kind of depends just on the luck of the draw, but the way that the sub-weapon drops work is after every 25th enemy kill, you can get a random weapon drop. So you kind of get a feel for it when you do speed runs. You do a pretty consistent pattern of attacks and kills throughout the run. So you kind of know what you're looking at and where that weapon drop will be generally, but actually getting the weapon drop you're looking for can be tough. So we'll just do the normal fight here. All right, not the best fight, but we got him. All right, so there's actually a trick coming up here, which is very, very difficult, and hopefully we get it. It's called a rope skip, and it's relatively new. I think Kavik, another great Turtles runner, he found this maybe 6 months ago, and it lets you skip over 2 of the sections of the rope that you normally need. Unfortunately, the 3rd section's too far to get it, so you do still have to collect the rope, but it's a really amazing trick. Very tough, though, because if you mess it up, bad things happen. So we're going to go for it once, see if we can get it, and if we do mess it up, there actually is a payoff where you kind of fall off the building and there's like a big crashing noise. And I think it kind of has like a rumble pack technology or something if you want to feel it. So either way, it'll be good, but hopefully we can get it. And we got it. Nice. All right. So you can get the second skip there, but that one is kind of random because you need that beetle enemy. So that little flying enemy that I used to boost, that one always spawns for the first gap, but it doesn't always spawn for the second gap. So in that case, I wasn't really sure, honestly. I just got kind of scared, so I didn't try for the second one. But in a lot of cases, you just can't get it because the enemy doesn't spawn. But what we just saw there was kind of a ceiling clip, and that's something that was probably found like a year ago by somebody named Spobble. And he found that the mechanics in this game, when you jump off screen in the air, like above the screen, and that outdoor area is one of the few areas that you can kind of jump into the sky, it actually kind of messes with your physics and it pushes you forward. So by jumping in a precise manner, you can actually clip to the right and clip through that ceiling. And it's not quite the same as a ceiling glitch that you might see later in the game in the Technodrome level, but it's kind of the same mechanic where you can scroll the screen down very fast and it saves a lot of time versus just climbing down the ladders and clearing out the rest of that room. So that trick alone saved like 6 seconds, and it's pretty awesome. And what we're gonna do is, oops, that was a bad jump. All right, so health is a little bit low here, so we're probably gonna try to play this a bit safe. There's actually a strat that I was gonna do, but I forgot, where I got a backup pizza. But I mean, the run was just on such an amazing pace that I didn't want to waste time to get some extra pizza in level 3. So we'll see how it goes, but I think we'll be fine here. I just need to make sure to not die. And normally in a speed run, when you don't die, good things happen. So we'll see. This guy can be a troll here. All right, so that was bad. I kind of had a bad jump there. So unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to take a game over because there's really no way to get through this with the amount of health I have. So that was unfortunate. I should have gotten the backup health with Leo, but it's not that big of a deal because I was only, I don't know, like a minute and a half in there. So tough game over, but this game is pretty challenging. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of keep going, see what we can do with Don here and, you know, beat the game. This is what happens, though, when I did that rope skip and that ceiling glitch. The game punished me because it's supposed to be a glitchless run. And I forgot that key aspect, and this is what I get for that.
Cheaters never win.
I mean, the key to make this a valid run, because I'm still going to try to submit this to speedrun.com, which is a great leaderboard site. So by taking the game over, if you read the fine print of the rules on speedrun.com, if you do accidentally do a glitch, then if you do take the game over and start again and do no glitches, it'll be a valid run. So we're going to try to, you know, erase that. I mean, the time might not be the best, but it might still be a top 2 or 3 time. So, you know, we'll see. We'll have to look at the tape at the end, but it's hard to say. All right. So what we want to do now is we got to do the ropes here, and then there is that ceiling glitch. I guess I don't know if we want to do it. I mean, for for the charity, I guess we'll do it. As much as I want to submit this run, we'll have to help out charity. Essentially, if you jump on a certain pixel, then you can actually hold right and A to jump, and then you just have to hold down. The actual inputs for that little ceiling flip are really not that bad. It's just all about the timing and the positioning. And that's one of the keys to this game. Obviously, it's a tough game to beat if you're just playing it casually. So you really want to kind of memorize a lot of the enemies and the areas, and knowing where to go is important. Just knowing the path. Like this level alone, there's so many different options and different tunnels and places that you can go. But if you kind of know the path you're walking and know the right direction to go, that helps a lot. But also understanding kind of the basic mechanics of the turtles, you know, how to attack right, how to jump right. It's very crucial to be good at this game. I feel like a lot of people that play it think the mechanics are kind of bad or the controls are very awkward or not so good, but it's actually pretty good once you get used to it and you get a really good feel for how the mechanics work. There's basically 3 different types of jumps you can do in the game, and they're all pretty useful in the speedrun. So you can actually do a small tap jump if you just tap A for a couple of frames, and that's going to be the smallest one. But if you actually hold A for about a half second and then let go, you kind of do a medium jump, which is pretty interesting, and it actually becomes useful in several spots where you don't want a full jump, but you don't want the small tap jump either. So we're going to try this again. Normally that guy lets you through. I actually jumped a little too early there. I was a little bit nervous, so that part's not too bad, but that guy will sometimes throw boomerangs at you, or he will troll you a bit, but luckily we got past him this time. All right, so we're going through level 4. There's actually a spot coming up where it's kind of a big overpass section that we're going to walk through, so if you have some more donations, we can go ahead and read those now.
I certainly do. I've got $50 from a Ninja Platypus, who says, a Ninja Goldfish? Ninja Turtles? How could I not donate? I have $25 from Phil89. He says, Bob the Ninja Goldfish read my first donation ever that got read on a GDQ. It was a terrible Zelda pun. I regret nothing. Thank you for your donation, Phil. $20. Right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's go to the next room here. Actually, there's no turtle to rescue because we have them all. The next room is also pretty important. It's kind of the scroll room where we're going to pick up the scroll sub-weapon, which is the most powerful weapon in the game. So it becomes very useful for the rest of the speedrun. All right, we made that jump. That's a pretty tight jump there. And we made it. So if you miss that jump, you can actually get knocked back to the left if you don't go far enough. And if you fall in that lava, it's instant death. So luckily we got through there, and we do have the scroll weapon, but it's very important to keep that weapon, so we might actually switch turtles here if we get a bad sub-weapon drop. But it looks like we got through there at least. My enemy kill count's a little bit off, so it's possible that I actually do get a sub-weapon drop somewhere else, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. And I might even switch turtles just to avoid the sub-weapon drop, and that's how good the scroll weapon is. You can actually do a trick in the against the boss of this level, the Giant Mauser, and against the boss of level 5, the Technodrome, with the scroll weapon. And what you do is you attack up with your bow, and then right before the bow hits the enemy, you can actually, you can actually press select to choose the sub-weapon. And then when you do that, it does the damage value of the scroll weapon, but it doesn't actually waste the scroll weapon because you were attacking with the bow. So it's pretty cool. You kind of like hold up and press B and then press select right before it hits. And we'll see if we can get a quick kill here on Mauser, where you can kill him in only 5 hits. All right, so we didn't do it perfectly there, but we ended up doing the pause glitch, which again, run invalidated unfortunately, but you can actually pause on that Mauser fight when he has his mouth open, and then when you unpause, his mouth will be closed, but his hitbox in his mouth will still be active, so you can still kill him that way. Overall, the fight's very easy with Donatello, but if you do that pause glitch, it can just let you kill it faster, and obviously with the scroll weapon trick, it makes it even better. And I'll talk a little bit more about the scroll attack for the next boss, but now we actually have level 5. So this is the big Technodrome level. This is where you want to find it in the right tunnel based on the RNG. Unfortunately though, since I game overed at the beginning, that actually guarantees that the Technodrome is going to be in the bottom left. So a little bit unfortunate to game over and we can't see if I press start correctly, but this is actually kind of helpful here because now I know exactly where the Technodrome is and I don't have to go through the other tunnels, which can be pretty painful. It's actually a pretty useful thing to do if you're just playing through the game casually or you're struggling with it, because in a lot of cases, this level really is one that hurts players casually, because if you don't find the Technodrome in the right place, And I mean, if you don't know how to do any kind of the manipulation, it essentially is random where the Technodrome is. Like if you didn't press start at the beginning of the game, the Technodrome would technically be in this tunnel about 50% of the time, and then it would show up in one of the other 2 tunnels 25% of the time each. So normally the good tunnel, you only get it 25% of the time, but by practicing kind of that audio cue at the beginning and pressing start at the right time, you can get a little bit better odds. And here he is. So we got the Technodrome, and we're gonna do the same attack. This eyeball would normally take, I think, 10 hits to kill with just the bow weapon, but by doing the attack with the scrolls, you can actually kill him in 5. And it's kind of tricky to get the attacks on him because he actually... Nice. That was good. Yeah. So for this fight, unlike the Mauser fight, you can just stay on the ground. This one, you actually have to do a small jump while doing the inputs to kind of do the scroll attack glitch. So that one's a little trickier, but it went pretty well. And guess what? Here we are, the final battle. We're in the Technodrome. Let's go ahead and see if we can make it through. This is another level, though, where it's really important to keep the scroll weapon for later on, because there's this really cool strat I want to show off where you actually use the scroll weapon in the final hallway, which is probably the hardest part of the game, the final hallway. But with the scroll weapon, you can actually set it up where you're able to kill each of like the flying astronaut, jetpack, laser guys, and you can kind of get into a loop where you can go through there really fast. Now here's going to be another one of these ceiling glitches that we have, and you pretty much have to do a clip into the ceiling by getting your turtle sprite halfway into the ledge there. Play that one a little bit safe, but we made it in. And you attack kind of at the very top of the ceiling and you clip into it. And that one lets you skip 2 screens, and it saves about 15 seconds if you get it on the very first try. I think I got it on the 3rd try there, so it still saves probably like 12, 13 seconds. There's actually a second one right here, which I was thinking about going for, but unfortunately we had a few mistakes early on, so we're gonna go ahead and skip that one and just take the normal path. And we get to see all these cool enemies here and get to see these boomerang guys. But at this point, I would really like to keep the scroll weapon. But as I mentioned before, after every 25 enemy kills, there is the random sub-weapon drop that can drop. And I'm killing a lot of enemies, so I'm going to go over 2 spots where there could be a weapon, and I'm going to try to avoid them if possible. But there's also a good chance that just nothing drops. So like I said, it could either be a boomerang, a single star, or triple star, but it's also about maybe a 50% chance you just get no drop there. So we're gonna hope for good luck, and we're gonna hope that we can keep this weapon, but if not, we'll still make it work. So the final hallway is coming up, and you're gonna see I'm gonna try to do a strat where you get into a loop to kill these guys really fast. There it is. Well, unfortunately, we got the bad weapon drop there, but you could kind of see from the beginning of that loop, you kind of are able to hit the jetpack guy when he very first gets on the screen, and you can hit him again where you can keep walking forward without him shooting. If you don't have that, you really have to do the duck down strats because the lasers will hit you, and those enemies are really, really strong. So it would take like 3 or 4 hits to kill them with Don. And even if you have, even if you kind of try to just keep going past them, they'll stay on the screen most of the time. So without a good sub-weapon, that's actually a pretty good safe strat there. You kind of duck in the corner and you can attack with Don to get through there. And here we are. So we have the final boss. So time is coming up on the last hit, so I'll let you know. But Shredder is actually really easy if you stand on a certain pixel. He actually cannot hit you. So just sitting here, I can just press down B and he's gonna die. So we have time.
Nice.
All right. There we go.
Good stuff.
Yep. Thank you guys, I appreciate that. And that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Really fun game. It is a challenging game. There's little things that can kind of hurt you. You saw in the speedrun, I messed up in 1 or 2 areas. It came back. Casually playing it, it's one of those things where if you take 1 hit, you can easily get comboed and lose a lot of life. So tough game, but very fun. So I'd suggest anybody that maybe played this as a kid but never could beat it, go back and try again. And if you're interested in speedrunning it, I would definitely recommend checking that out. There's a lot of good resources for the speedrun, and it's a really friendly community, so we'd love to have more people try it.
Also, there's a human.
Yeah, we had a whole ton of donations, so we're just like, I'm glad to see this game from my childhood get massacred. So let's hear it once more for Whitman. Let's try and blast through some of these here donations. I have a $200 donation from Alex Rain 1, who says, shout outs to all the great routers, runners, hosts, organizers, and everyone else who helps make this event so great every year. In today's dark world, it's great to know that there's still wonderful, good people like each and every one of you. I have $5 from Jesse254, who says, I told my girlfriend, Sakura, if she beats both TMNT and Battletoads for the NES, I will propose to her. Let us know how that goes. I have $50 from Casey Jones, who says, I'm a long-time viewer and I figured it was only fitting to make my first GDQ donation during this year's TMNT block. A big cowabunga to all the runners for being such radical dudes. Oh, I knew this donation was coming. So, whoever donated, I know who donated this and I will have words with them later. I have $50 from Woken Matt Hardy, who says, the terrible affliction known as cancer has plagued our human vessels since times immemorial. We must join our brothers and delete cancer. Delete, delete, delete. Ah, wonderful, yes. Hey, girl, hey. I have $25 from Gramora. Nice to hear from you, buddy. Donating for a good cause and to cause Bob the Goldfish is awesome. Please stop mentioning me in your donation comments, guys. It's not about me. It's about the charity. It's about the runners. This $25 goes to Bob's choice, which is Superman. I'm trying to... $50 from Ange. 50 says, nothing I'd rather do when homesick than watch other people play video games. Let's kick cancer's tail. Good luck to all the runners. I have $40 from an anonymous donation that says, thanks to everyone from GDQ. My husband and I have been enjoying these runs. We're a huge fan of the TMNT series, so glad to see the Turtles see some love. Greetings from Puerto Rico. Let's kick cancer in the butt with some turtle power. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to Blecky, who's going to be interviewing Whitman Price. Take it away, Blecky.
Hey guys, I'm here with Whitman. So let's see. That was a solid run. One thing that's interesting to me about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is you have these 4 different turtles that you can kind of choose between, and you can kind of use their health in different ways to get through areas. But how does that come up in terms of routing? Like, how can you make sure that you use all the health optimally at any given point?
Thanks, Blecky. You're right. Guerrilla War is a great game. It was a very fun run. We had a good time. Next question. No. With Turtles, it's also a great game, I guess. But yeah, it's very important to kind of choose the right turtle and the right situation. And there were some changes there. Actually, there's been a lot of changes over the years, but one of the things that comes up is turtle switching. And you want to optimally switch turtles because in the dam level, you just are going to take damage. That's the way to go, or else it's very slow.
Right.
So you want to get your turtles low on health, but which direction you switch them in is important, and then which turtle to use kind of following that.
Got it.
So in the past, we actually ended the dam with a different turtle, but now we end it with Michelangelo, because when you take a death abuse on the following level, Donatello's right below him, so you can just mash start and instantly you're using Don.
Got it.
Yep.
And then throughout the rest of the stages, obviously you want to use Donatello as much as possible, but throughout the rest of the stages, how do you choose kind of who you're using at any given time?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's Donatello, and honestly, once you get to level 3 and you take that death abuse, ideally, I would use Donatello the entire rest of the game. There's a few different strats. I actually had a backup strat that I forgot to do in level 3 where you can get a really quick pizza with Leonardo, so that would have been a quick turtle switch, but normally you wouldn't need that for like a record type attempt.
Yeah.
But later on in the game, there is a challenging area in level 4, and if you take too much damage with Donatello, you can't take the necessary damage boosts because there are some spikes you can boost through that go really fast. So if you're low on health, you do switch directly to Michelangelo because he's one next to the turtle, so it's one switch, and because you just saved him because he was the one that got captured earlier.
Got it. Okay. One thing that was very impressive to me as I was watching that is that I don't know how you can do it, but you can just kind of have this stream of consciousness of commentary as you're playing. What does it take to get to that level?
I mean, it's just a gift, I guess.
Yeah.
What can you say? No, I don't know. I mean, I think I've played the game for quite a long time. It's probably been 3 or 4 years now. So once you get that consistent with it, a lot of it just comes down to muscle memory.
Yeah.
And to some degree, I think helping me actually talks on that, because if it's too quiet, or if I'm not thinking, or if I start thinking because it's too quiet, that will almost mess you up. Whereas if you're talking, you can just have the commentary going, and then it frees your muscle memory up to do that. And that's a key part of speedrunning, is just kind of getting that natural ability to do the same thing over and over again.
And do you think, because you stream pretty actively, and while you're streaming, do you think that do you try to keep that same mentality where you're commentating that actively?
No, not really. I'm actually pretty lazy when I stream. I'm kind of like just laying down. I don't really feel like talking. But unfortunately, sometimes people come into my chat, and then I'd feel bad if I didn't talk.
Yeah.
So I kind of say a few things. But yeah, I like to kind of joke around. I'll have a few topics that I kind of go back to. I'm not sure if it's just because those are the favorite things to talk about.
Yeah.
But overall with a game, especially if I get like a big raid from somebody, or if there's somebody new that pops up in chat that I haven't seen before, I'll definitely try to go through the mechanics. And I'm not going to go as in-depth as we did here today, but I like to talk about a few of the little things, maybe point out a couple things that I find very unique about the game or very fun about the game to kind of draw on their attention and to keep that conversation going when they join.
Yeah, got it. So this is going to be, a question everyone wants to know the answer to. You saw it coming. Who is your favorite Final Fantasy?
Favorite Final Fantasy? I mean, Raphael is a good Final Fantasy. Donatello is actually amazing in Final Fantasy 1, but I mean, I got to go back to nostalgia. That's probably the reason I started speedrunning. So as a kid, Leonardo Final Fantasy, that was the game that got me through it. I mean,
Leonardo is a really good class system.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know, definitely.
So let's go ahead. Okay, actually, we're going to go ahead and cut to couch. I think we're ready. So thank you guys so much for watching, and good luck on the next run.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Keep watching. Keep donating. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you, Blackie. Let's hear it for those guys.
Thanks, Lucky. That was really fun, man. Yep. All right.
All right, so I'm going to get a couple more quick donations in here. I have $202 from an anonymous donor who says, thank you to all the runners for their time and dedication. My wife is being treated for cancer, and thanks to research, it looks like she's going to get a 100% completion cancer-free. Congratulations, man. And with that one quick one, AGDQ 2018. Let's hear it for Turbo Gilman.
Thank you. Working the kinks out, it's cool. All right. Oh, we're live? Okay.
Professionalism.
Yeah.
So we're playing in hard difficulty, and the character we're going to choose is Raph. What? Or
Sorry.
we're going to reset.
Sorry. Reset starts with the same letter as Raph. That's okay.
Exactly.
Introduce yourself, Turbo.
Oh, yeah, I'm Turbo Gilman. I love the mess out of this game, and the turtles for that matter. On the couch we have L-Rock. How's everybody doing? We have Cypher in behind me, and on the other end we've got Mike Uyama. So shout out to
Kick some shell. As Mike pointed out, we are going to be playing Raph for this run, and we'll get to why here in just a few moments.
Yeah, you can do
It'll
the
be a lot more
countdown,
apparent
Turbo.
once the it's SDA, so character control. So we'll get there.
Are we gonna watch the intro or not? What do you think?
we're not going to watch that.
Nah, it's fast, man. All right,
You don't want to see the rip
fantastic.
shredder?
Three. Well,
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. All right.
So, as I was saying, this is Raphael. Some of you know what he looks like, and if you don't, well, now you do. Raph is, without a doubt, the best character in this game for a multitude of reasons. One, his movement speed is lightning fast. He's twice as fast as the second fastest character. He moves at an astonishing walk speed of 3 pixels per second, and his run speed probably somewhere around triples that. And in this game, you're going to be running a lot because this game, unlike other games similar to it, has a built-in run button. So lots of holding forward, mashing C, just to gain distance, do damage, which is the other reason we pick Raph. When he's in run motion, he does more damage than any character in this game by about 40 to 60% more.
Yeah.
It's very significant. He
So-
does. No, it's all you. It's all you.
So you might notice Raph from Turtles in Time. He's using many of the similar moves. This game, it's not quite a port of Turtles in Time, although the Turtles play very similarly to how they do in Turtles in Time. The big difference is that your specials and dash specials don't actually kill the default foot soldiers or roadkill Rodneys in one hit. So that's why he's frequently, using slides, or he's like jabbing an enemy first and then he's hitting them. So to make sure that the foot soldiers die. One other difference with this game is that there's no screen throw because no mode 7, I guess. And you do still have the slam throw, but it's not as good because you don't actually kill the foot soldiers you hit with the slam. Only the foot soldier that you slam itself will die from the slam. So it's very rare that Turbo will use the slam in this run. So he's mostly going to use flip tackles, which do double the damage of your normal tackle. And he will also be using a lot of dash specials and slides because the slide makes you travel faster and does decent damage. It kills most foot soldiers in 2 hits. And the dash special is just one of your most powerful attacks.